Chips. We love them. We're obsessed with them. We're so obsessed that we eat 120,000 tons of them every year in this country. In my last video, I commented on the Spinoff's 2019 story where they rated 123 different flavours of chips available in New Zealand, and that got me thinking about chips. Like many other New Zealanders, I was surprised and disappointed at the Spinoff's rankings, so I decided to do some research of my own. Unlike the Spinoff, who brazenly grouped all corn snacks, corn chips and potato chips as just chips, I've taken a more traditional approach and have decided to make separate categories out of these snacks. In this video, I've taken the top 5 potato chips that were in the Spinoff's list and put them through a rigorous taste test. But what about the other 118? I'll get to those in due time, but for now, let's taste test the Spinoff's top 5 potato chips according to them and see how they actually line up. Let's eat some chips. Okay, so I've got 5 of the actual potato chips on the list, not corn chips, not corn snacks. Bit of debate about the Pringles, do they actually count as chips or not? Considering that there's some sort of weird potato dust amalgam, they do count as chips for the purpose of this video. Actually, let's kick things off with the Pringles. Pringles Originals were on the Spinoff list. A bit of a boring choice. I would have gone for salt and vinegar or sour cream chives. I think that's the other flavor. The one in the green can. Let's give this a go. By far, these were the most expensive item on today's list, $4.89. Now, I can't remember the last time I bought Pringles, but is it me or have they gotten ridiculously small lately? I'm just gonna say anecdotally, these things have gotten tiny. Well, it's a plain Pringles chip. They're not overly salted overall. Plain Pringles. Pretty damn plain. I give them 6 out of 10. So I'm already pretty familiar with Bluebird salt and vinegar. I'm gonna go straight for these bad boys. Copper Kettle Chips, wood-fired barbecue flavor. Let's see what all the fuss is about. All right, let's give it a bit of a squeeze test. See how much air is in there. I think not bad, not a bad ratio in today's modern chip environment where you get a lot of bag versus chips in the bag. That looks to be about 60% full. Seen worse. And if we open it up, yeah, all right. Yeah, it's about, 60% full of chips. How does it smell? It smells pretty good, actually. A little bit smoky barbecue. Well, it does say wood-fired barbecue. So here we go. Looks good. That is quite good. Yeah. Is it the best chip I've ever had? No, but it's not too heavy on the barbecue flavor and there is that little bit of woody smokiness to it. I like it. I'm gonna give that an 8 out of 10. All right, moving on to these now. The Proper Crisps, cider vinegar and sea salt. Now, the first thing I want to say about this brand, Proper Crisps, that have come into New Zealand over the last few years, is that straight off the bat, they're calling them crisps, and we don't call them crisps in New Zealand. So I'm deducting a point for that already. Let's test out the bag versus air ratio. Again, I'd say that's about 60% full. These were also pretty pricey, $4.50 for one bag. Let's test them out. How's it? Oh, I said it's about 60% full in there, but taking a look when I've opened the bag, I'd say that's barely even half full. What are you guys playing at, Proper Crisps? They do look pretty good though. I can smell them from here. That's a very strong salt and vinegary smell. So this is, cider vinegar and sea salt, not just your regular old vinegar. Let's give it a try. They don't taste as strong as they smell. When you open up the bag, you really get that strong smell of salt and vinegar. But the taste is pretty mild, actually. The texture and crispiness as well. I mean, it's nothing to write home about. It's better than the Pringles Originals, but not by much. I'm also, you know what, I'm slightly disappointed with that. Also points off for calling them crisps. I am giving Proper Crisps a 6 out of 10, quite overrated. Now these next ones, another salt flavor ones. These were supposed to be the sweet chili relish flavor. Couldn't find them today though, so I got this one, Delisio English Deli Style Sea Salt. These were $3 for the bag. And let's check out how many, let's try and gauge. Yeah, I'm gonna say it feels like it's only about 50% full. Let's open it up, have a look. Yeah, I get another bag. It seems like the more expensive chips you get, the less they put in there. Only about half full, if that really. Still, they look all right. Let's give them a go. Pretty thin. Not a lot of salt on them. They're pretty thin. They're not as crispy as I thought they would be. I think I preferred the Proper Crisp cider vinegar and sea salt to those. I don't want to let the lack of flavor cloud this judgment too much, but they're a little bit underwhelming. I'm giving them 5 out of 10. Well, here we go. The Spinoff's #1 chip, apparently, the #1 chip in New Zealand according to them. Bluebird Original Salt and Vinegar. I think we all know these. These were by far the cheapest of all the chips here today. $2 on special. Now I think usually they go for about, I don't know, $3 or something like that. But $2 was a pretty good bargain today. Let's give them a little bit of a squeeze. How full is that bag? I'm gonna say probably about, I don't know, 60 to 70% full. Let's open it up and see if it's any good. Um, 50 to 60% full, really. Not bad. Well, I can smell the salt and vinegar from here. Okay, there we go. It's got that familiar, nice ripple cut. Let's give them a go. Yeah, I originally called out the Spinoff reporter for choosing these as #1. I called her out saying that these are incredibly mid chips. They are incredibly mid. But as far as value for money goes, compared to all these other chips, I prefer these. Especially when you consider like all these ones were close to $5. These ones are $3, not too bad. But for only $2 on special anyway. I've got to say the Bluebirds take it out. Are they the best chip in New Zealand? I don't think so. I'm still going to stand by my claim saying they're very, very mid chip. You bring these to any party, yeah, people are not going to turn them away. However, if I'm going to a school function or a housey evening and I see these next to some corn chips, I'm going for the corn chips first over these. Bluebird Original Salt and Vinegar, yeah, not bad. I'm going to give them a 7 out of 10. That's a good, solid chip. They're not amazing, but great value for money.
Well, there we go. Overall, I think the Spinoffs taste are pretty bland if they rated these as the best chips in New Zealand. The Copper Kettle wood-fired barbecue chips had the best flavour of the bunch, scoring 8 out of 10, and at a price of $2.90, they're not bad value. These were closely followed by the Bluebird Original Salt and Vinegar, scoring a 7 out of 10, with a lot of that score coming from the excellent value at only $2 for one bag. At the end of the day though, they are just salt and vinegar chips, nothing fancy, but they do get the job done. Then we had the Proper Crisps cider vinegar and sea salt coming in with a 6 out of 10, a mediocre amount of flavour for a steep price tag of $4.50 a bag. Pringles Originals also scored a 6 out of 10. They taste fine, I guess, but that's mostly due to the addictive substance that all Pringles are made of. They have become criminally small in recent years though, and at $4.89 for a can, they are terrible value. Last of all, we had Delisio Sea Salt coming in as a last-minute replacement for Delisio Sweet Thai Chili at 5 out of 10. Very ordinary taste, thickness and texture, and at $3 for a bag that's probably not quite half full, I'd say forget about them. Alright, there we have it boys and girls. Which chips should I taste test next? Carry on with the potato chips, or dip into corn chips or corn-based snacks even? Drop a comment in the comment section and let me know. And if you're interested in more New Zealand snack opinions, then why not check out this video?